and welcome to our channel, and I am again back with another reading video, and this time I am going to discuss match the headings. So the previous video on true, false and not given was useful to most of you, so I thought to make another video on the reading again. And yeah, so again we are going to have 16 questions that we'll be solving today. In the first set there are 7, in the second one there are 9 questions, and in total we are going to be solving 16 questions. So please block a couple of your minutes before you even start this video so that you can get advantage of it. If you haven't watched that true, false and not given, I would request you to go back and watch that. Now let's start. And okay, so here comes the first passage that we'll be solving together. Before starting this, I would let you know that since there are going to be 2 sets of questions, on the first set I'll be giving you 30 seconds because the difficulty level is going to be either easy or medium. But if I talk about the second set, it is going to be a little harder, and little longer paragraphs are going to be there. So in the first set there are going to be 30 seconds that you'll be getting. In the second one there is going to be 1 minute that you'll be getting. Okay, so if you're clear with that, now we are going to start. Okay, so here comes your first question. Okay, so the answer to this question is second one. If we can see that here they've mentioned second floor offers a view of airfield and all incoming outgoing flights. So you can observe whatever flight that is coming and going from that area on the second floor. So answer is observation, because you can observe what is happening. Okay, so here comes the second question. Okay, so the answer to this one is Tourist Travel Center, because I have highlighted all the reasons why it is the answer. Open to all international flights, provide a comprehensive service for visitors, offers a booking service for accommodation and transport. Okay, so okay, so the answer to third question is fifth, because urgent medical attention, dial 9877. The airport pharmacy is located. So all the keywords that are here are denoting only one thing, that is healthcare services. So the answer is fifth one. Okay, so the answer to fourth question is third, because we can see baggage services, and on the D paragraph we can see seal their luggage or packages in recyclable polythene. Luggage storage charged at $10 per hour. So again, the answer is third. Okay, so if paragraph, the answer for this one is departure fees, because it has mentioned every international passenger, okay, except children who are 12 years old, they are required to pay $25 when they leave the country. So leave the country is departure. So this is the synonym for that. Okay, so the answer to sixth question is flight information, because here you can see that the flight information is actually displayed on monitors, and the information is not publicly announced. So you can see it is about this only. And the last question. Okay, so the answer is meeting facilities, because we can't really see any other keywords matching here. So the airport caters for the needs of business travelers, several rooms for seminars and business gatherings. So it's all about meeting. So meeting facilities are there for the business travelers. Okay, so these are all the answers that we have just found. So you can see them and check how much have you scored. Okay, so now I'll ask you to drink a bit of water so before starting the next one, because the difficulty level for that passage is a little harder if we compare it to this passage. So, and we are going to begin with that, and you can pause the video before starting that also. Okay, so here comes our next passage, quite a big one. European Transport System, 1990, 2010. Okay, so I would always advise to go and read the topic first, and then read this small information piece of information that is given here, and then start with your answers. Okay, so the first question is paragraph A. Try to read it and we'll be finding the answer. And your 1 minute start. Okay, so here comes the answer. Answer is 8, because if we see the information that is given in the very first paragraph is leading to this point only, where they are talking about the rapid growth of private transport. So private transport is usually, you can say, our cars. Okay, so the cars are private transportation. So they have been talking about how there have been an increase in that. Okay, now comes the second question. For the paragraph B, the answer is third, because you can see that here they are talking about the changes affecting the distances goods may be transported. So here they are actually only talking about how the economic conditions and the system of production is actually impacting the transport, goods transport. And you can see keywords such as relocation of some industries. So relocation means they are changing the location of the industries. Production site is hundreds or even thousands of kilometers away from the users or from the final assembly plant. So the answer becomes the changes affecting the distances goods may be transporters. So the goods, if you know that, it's like the final product or anything that is okay. So the next comes C paragraph. The answer to this one is transport trends in countries awaiting EU admission. So here is countries which are candidate for entry to the EU will also increase transport flow. Although many candidate countries inherited transport system which encourages rail, so you can see they are talking about what kind of trends are there in the countries which are the candidates for EU admission. So you can see it's clearly, the information is clearly matching with this particular piece of information. So the heading to this question is going to be this one. Okay, now comes the D paragraph. And the answer to this question is a fresh and important long-term goal. So here they are talking about a new, which is synonym to a fresh. And then you can also see that proposed measures are nonetheless a first essential step towards a sustainable transport system, which will ideally be in place in 30 years' time, that is by 2040. So obviously it's a long-term goal. They have also talked about 2020, 2020, but we are actually here talking about the long-term goal. So we can see this year. So the answer becomes this one. Now let's move to E paragraph. So here the answer to this one is the environmental costs of road transport. So we can see that CO2 emissions from transport can be expected to increase by around 50%. And they have also given the data in tons by 2020. Again, they have again mentioned road transport is the main culprit. It alone accounts for 84% of the CO2 emissions. So the answer is how road transport is affecting environment. So the answer becomes this one. Now let's move to F paragraph. Okay, so the answer to this one is the need to achieve transport rebalance. So at the same time, greater efforts must be made to achieve a model shift. So model shift is, you can say that the shift from one type of or one means of transport to another. So they are talking about must be made to achieve a model shift. Today, rail freight services are facing marginalization. Three possible options have emerged. So they are talking about they need to rebalance things. So further we'll be reading about that. So here they are just talking about the change that they need to obtain. Okay, so now read G paragraph. Okay, so here the answer comes restricting road use through charging policies alone. So in the G paragraph, we can say that the first approach, it is about just focusing on the road transport through pricing, nothing else. And they have also mentioned this option would not be accompanied by complementary measures. So there would not be any other measures except pricing. So this is by restricting road use through charging policies only. So here the focus is going to be on the charges and pricing, nothing else. So answer becomes this one. Okay. Now comes H paragraph. And the second approach also concentrates on road transport pricing, but it will be accompanied by measures to increase the efficiency of other modes. So the answer becomes charging for roads and improving other transport methods. So here we can see all the keywords in the very first sentence itself. Okay, the very last question. Okay, so here we can see that the answer to this question is taking all the steps necessary to change transport patterns. So in the third one, we can see that third approach comprises a series of measures ranging from pricing and then alternative modes of transport, investment in trans-European network, and integrated approach. So here they are taking all the steps and they have given range to us, like, it will be ranging from the pricing to other modes of alternative for other modes of transport and even investment that they are talking about. So there are a lot of steps are going on. So now you can see answers to all the questions that we have just solved. So now you can check what your score was. So that's all for today. I hope this video was useful to all of you, and I hope to see you in the next video on maybe on the reading itself. Okay, then thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.